This is Lowell Thomas speaking, flashing to you the news of the world, pictured by Fox Movie Tone.
What is Field Day? Field Day is the single most popular on-air event held annually in the United States and Canada. On the fourth weekend of June of each year, more than 35,000 radio amateurs gather with their clubs, groups, or simply with friends to operate from remote locations. It is a time where many aspects of amateur radio come together to highlight their many roles. While some will treat it as a contest, other groups use the opportunity to practice their emergency response capabilities. It's an excellent opportunity to demonstrate amateur radio to the organizations that amateur radio might serve in an emergency, as well as the general public. For many clubs, Field Day is one of the highlights of their annual calendar. The contest part is simply to contact as many other stations as possible, to learn to operate radio gear in abnormal situations and less than optimal conditions. Antennas are strung and a portable tower is raised to put these amateurs in touch with the world. Outgoing Surrey Amateur Radio Club President John Brody welcomes the participants and spectators.
I'd like to extend a welcome to all our distinguished visitors, and we have a good representation from at least two levels of government today, so thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate the support that we get from all levels of government, actually. Demonstrate that we're ready to act in an emergency, but it's also a contest. So our objective is to make radio contact with amateur radio groups and individuals across the continent and correctly exchange information to verify that the contact has been made and then log the contact. So we make thousands of these in the course of 24 hours, so we're pretty busy on the radio. We came number one in Canada in our group 2 years ago. And last year we slipped to second place, but this year we're trying very hard to regain our position as number one.
Alan Saunders speaks on behalf of the Surrey Emergency Program Amateur Radio.
We're grateful for working together with the Surrey Amateur Radio Club and happy to provide the equipment we can and participation for the equipment that we can to help Field Day be successful.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Ron Casey.
Not so long ago I was out watching one of our members load up the car for a shift in Surrey, and that particular member had a shotgun and a sidearm and a taser and a baton and pepper spray and a radio and a cell phone and a laptop and a great big trunk full of other illegal stuff. And I was thinking to myself, they're highly trained, they're effective, but what happens if there isn't a communication system that can tell those people that there's a problem over there and what the problem is and how they're supposed to handle it? So once again, amateur radio is, to my knowledge, the only system that's available right now that's almost hack-proof. Because they could hack my system, John's still up, they could hack John's system, Gail's still up, so it's sort of a neat system that everywhere you go, even if the power is down, you can show up and you can get stuff rolling.
Minister Stephanie Cadieux extends her best wishes on behalf of the provincial government.
What's going to happen if there is a big emergency in British Columbia, and what's my role as a member of Executive Council? Now, thankfully, I'm so excited. I not only have 2 cell phones and an iPad to have to carry around, I now also have to carry around a sat phone. So it's fantastic. But I am really glad that there are people in our community who have the knowledge and expertise to step in when all of those best laid plans fail, and that's you. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing what you do, and best of luck, and hope you bring home the title again.
Former Surrey City Councillor, now MLA, Marvin Hunt, a longtime supporter of amateur radio, expresses his support.
You know, when you're out on the water in Newfoundland or whatever, and you see these icebergs floating along, you know, it's like the Titanic, they forgot to estimate what's underneath. And you know, when you see a little sign like Surrey Amateur Radio Club, you think, oh, this is a couple of guys getting together over a beer and, you know, and talking to each other on a walkie-talkie or something like that. Or no, yeah, these guys goof around and decide to have ham radios, whatever those are, you know. And we've got this whole massive infrastructure underneath that is the communications in times of challenges and difficulties. And when you get those challenges, and you've watched how many in these weird weather patterns that we've had of late, how that when everything goes down, and we really love our cell phones, but it doesn't take much to knock that system right out. It's the ham operators who are the ones that are communicating. It's the ham operators who are talking to Haiti during their earthquake emergency. It's the ham operators that are getting the information back and forth to people in Nepal, in the remote communities, and those sorts of things. It is tremendous what you do. On behalf of all levels and orders of government, we want to say thank you, because you are truly a group of people that is very much under-recognized, underappreciated, and undervalued. And we just want to use that simple little word that sounds so absolutely inadequate, but thank you.
Acting Mayor Mary Martin speaks on behalf of City Council.
Today, and I want to thank you personally for all the great work that you do here for us. I'm here on behalf of Mayor Linda Hepner, who sends her best wishes, and I'm here on behalf of Council.
For the past several years, Surrey City Council has proclaimed Amateur Radio Week as the week leading up to Field Day, recognizing the contribution these volunteers make to their community.
Amateur Radio Week, June 22nd to June 28th, whereas amateur radio operators are celebrating over a century of a miracle of the human voice broadcast over the airwaves, and whereas amateur radio has provided a bridge between peoples, societies, and countries by creating friendships and sharing of ideas, and whereas the City of Surrey has several hundred licensed amateur radio operators who provide radio communications during emergencies and public service events, and whereas amateur radio operators in the City of Surrey donate their services without compensation, and whereas amateur radio operators are on alert for any emergency, local, regional, or worldwide, and whereas Amateur Radio Field Day exercise will take place on June the 27th and 28th, demonstrating radio amateur skills and readiness to provide self-supporting communications without the need of additional infrastructure. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that I, Linda Hepner, do hereby declare the week of June 22nd to June 28th as Amateur Radio Week in the City of Surrey, in recognition of this important emergency preparedness exercise. Again, thank you so much for all that you do. I declare Amateur Field Day officially open.
What do you hear over the air?
7 Sierra Alpha Romeo, Victory 7 Sierra Alpha Romeo,
So you don't know just what it means. Dust your shoes off, shake out your jeans, get on your feet, jump to the beat of CQ Serenade.
Victor Echo 7 Sierra Alpha Romeo,
Victor Echo 7 rhythm that swing and all the cats by the ear. Let's do ourselves a favor and get with them. You'll find you get the message, man, you'll hear it coming loud and clear. Doesn't matter what words you sing, just remember the beat's the thing. Get on the beam, carry the theme of CQ Serenade. Da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da, da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da. What do you hear over the air? CQ Serenade. Amateurs on the radio picked it up and then made it grow.
CQ Satellite, Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo, Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo. CQ, Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, you copy Whiskey Alpha 6 Delta Romeo.
Copy Whiskey Alpha 6 Delta Juliet Romeo, we're Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo, and Charlie November 89. Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo. W0DHB, Air 59 here in Delta November 70.
There's lots to see and lots to do at Field Day, even for children.
With CQ Serenade. It really doesn't matter at all.
Victor Echo 7, Sierra Alpha Romeo.
24 hours of continuous operation under field conditions.
And anyone can answer the call. CQ.
And the results are in. These amateurs have achieved first place in Canada, sweeping all categories.
Take your cue from the radio. Even beatniks go do-de-do. It's everywhere, filling the air. That CQ serenade.
Despite all the activity over the past 24 hours, there is nothing left to reveal their presence after field day.